Hey guys, one more video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Sunday morning. I hope we're all okay. I hope we're all right. I hope we're all enjoying our weekend, whatever it is that we're up to today. Yeah, obviously this news broke quite late last night. And yes, we'll be talking about the Hojbjerg move to Marseille. We're going to be talking about some of the figures that have come out to sort of tell us really how the deal looks. There was initial figures and then there's been some more added to it. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about a slight bit of interesting news surrounding 3 potential additions into the club. So we'll be talking about that. We'll talk about Anthony Martial for this weird old report. And yeah, plenty still to talk about, plenty to get into. Just want to say that if you're watching this and you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And I normally do stream at 12, but it's breaking news. I thought I'd start a bit earlier. Morning, Ollie. How are we, mate? The ball's finally rolling. Well, I mean, it's definitely still rolling at least. Hey, Adiz, mate. How are we? Hojbjerg's leaving. That's it. Morning, Spurs. Fair play for Hojbjerg moving on. Well, that's interesting, Dan. Morning, Tom. Still waiting for Bombers. Here I am as well. Morning, he said. Hey, Regal, mate. Make sure you're working hard, lad. Make sure you're working hard. So, yeah, we'll jump in. We'll talk some stuff. Let's talk really the news on Hojbjerg. So let me give you the first initial bit and then we're going to add to it. All right. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Rec. Morning, Sun Night. Right. So let's just jump in. So first and foremost, the person who I saw break it was Fabrizio Romano, who said that PM Hojbjerg to Olympique Marseille. So this is the newer version. Here we go. Confirmed documents sent to be signed for the Danish midfielder who's joining from Spurs. Spurs will receive fee of around 13.5 to 14 million euros. Basically, De Zerbi sort of sold him on the deal. So let's just, before we jump into the added bit of news of the deal and that value and things like that, in the kitchen cooking, what we're cooking, Tom. Hey, Donna. Hey, Joshua. Never do, mate. Was watching England drinking a beer while getting paid for it. Lovely. Lovely. Thank God he's gone. Who are the 3 incomings? We'll talk about it in a minute, Sebar. Sold Hojbjerg. Right. No add-ons. Wait, Ollie. Wait for it. Burger and chips. Good man. Get your cheese in there as well. Don't forget that. So look, on the face of things, when we talk about 13.5 million euros, 14 million euros, we're talking about 12 million pounds. We'll convert it over 12 million pounds. Now, I said, I'm hoping for at least 15. I'm hoping for somewhere between sort of 15 and 20. So on the face of things, I was a little bit disappointed. Now, one thing I would say is I think I've been quite clear on this. To be a really good club, a really solid club, you need to be making sure that you're moving on players that don't suit the manager's system. Now, Hojbjerg is a good, solid professional. He's a decent player, and in the right system, he's a very good player. Now, this isn't the right system for him, so it's not a dig at Hojbjerg at all, by the way, this. I don't think it is, because I think he's a decent player. And I actually always said, if he was to go to Atletico, or even Napoli with Conte now, I think for them buying him for, let's say, 15 minutes, I thought he was going to be an absolute rock star for them. Now, when we look at the Hojbjerg situation, yes, okay, maybe it's a little bit less than what you thought value-wise. But the other thing I would say is top teams move on from players that don't suit the manager. And yes, they just try and move them on as quickly as possible, really. Get a decent enough deal, but they're not holding out for the highest bidder if it's going to take weeks and months. Hojbjerg had 1 year left on his contracts. He wasn't signing a new one. Everyone in the world of football knew he wasn't signing a new one. So the idea of, we're going to get 25, 30 million was never going to be happening, right? So we have to be looking at this actually with some different sort of coloured, tinted glasses and say, actually, this isn't the bad move. Now, I'm going to add up to the new bit of information on the deal, which will make it a little bit better for anyone that thinks that maybe that we've not earned enough out of that deal. And I was one of those at the start, but now I'm a little bit happier knowing what I know. But we look at the teams that are doing well in the Premier League. They don't actually raise a lot of money from sales. I think Arsenal's like record sales, like 32 million. Which I think is Oxlade-Chamberlain. Man City move off of players all the time. So we shouldn't be any different. So actually, yes, maybe it's not 25, 30 million, but I'm happy for it. I'm happy for it because actually you think Tanganga, Sessegnon, Rodon, you could say Perisic and Dyer. Emerson were looking to move off. Hojbjerg's now going. Brian Hill, Lascelles. So there's so many, there's so much still to do on the outgoings, but they've made such a real good dent into the outgoings. And actually, yeah, they could have extended Sessegnon and Tanganga and maybe tried to get a few quid out of them, but they actually just thought, you know what? Cut bait, move them on. Let's be smart, not waste our time, move them on. And I love that. So actually, for the for as much as we've not done very much with the incomings, the outgoings, I've been very happy with, Rek, it's an Argentinian report. Andy, I hate some of our fans. They complain we don't get rid of Deadwood, then complain at how much we get for them. Baffles me. They were saying sell Emerson for 8 million the other day. Yeah, well, one's got more than 1 year left on his contract. He's 4 years younger. Emerson should always have gone for probably a little bit more than Hojbjerg. The deal is rubbish. Well, let me tell you the rest of it in a minute. Hojbjerg should have gone to Atletico. Well, they're looking at Gallagher. Only ever heard... cheers, mate. Cost more than Bergvall, good business. Well, Solomon's happy. Well, Solomon, I'm going to make you feel even better about that comment in a minute. Why are we linked with Mason Mount? Yeah, I've just kind of skipped on that one. I don't see anything in that. The guy cost 55 million, I think. So Man United are going to want something similar for that. Spurs aren't going anywhere near that with 20-foot pole. Also injury prone. Not yet. Hey, Kamagoo, like the stream. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that. So look, let me add a little bit more to this. Let me add a little bit of spice to this, as one Chris Eubanks Senior would say. So Alistair Gold actually said that on Pierre Hojbjerg's move to Marseille, he said the deal could be worth in all just under 17 million, so 20 million euros. So actually, yes, the deal is worth, let's say, 14 million euros right now, or 12 million pounds. There's a potential that Spurs actually could make an extra 5 million on this deal. So if we work that out as being 17 million, I think that's a solid deal, all things considered. I do. I think I wanted 15 million. I think we'll still make 15 million. May get up to 17, but 15 million is not that much more than what we already got for him. So a few million on add-ons. Do you know what? I'm happy with the deal, actually. At first, I was a bit like, 12 million, that we've not done very well there. But he's not long actually finished with the Euros when you think about it. He's gone on holiday and things like that. So actually, this has been quite a speedy deal, all things considered. The idea of 17 million euros, not going to complain. I'm not going to complain, So I don't know how we all feel. We'll do a little poll for this one, actually. This is a bit easier. Spell happy, right? So we're talking, obviously, the Hojbjerg deal. So are you happy about the sale? Yes or no? Vote in that poll. Let me know. And I can have a bit of an idea. And I'm going to have a swig of the summer fruit squash as well while we're waiting. No, Donna. It's profit on Hojbjerg. It is profit in theory. If the add-ons come through, it's profit. I think we broke even before the add-ons. So you know what I mean. Sale of who? Hojbjerg, mate. That's what we're talking about. Yes, he's not too bad, Solomon. See, I knew I'd make you a little bit happy with that news. Wait till people hear about the Keith news. Love to see it. Yeah, well, I'll be getting there. I'm getting there. Well, let me get there first, sorry, before we talk about it. Have you got new bottle? I got myself a new bottle. This is probably my 4th glass of the new bottle. So yes, very much got a new one. The country went into mourning when I finished that last bottle, but they rejoiced when the new one came in. You think we get 15 million for Skip? Yeah, it'd probably be something around that. Good vintage. Nice. So by the looks of things, actually, everyone's quite happy about the sale. I think on the face things before we came in with that added bit of information, I think, yeah, there was probably a situation where maybe people aren't that keen, but I think we're all quite keen on the fact that there is a decent sale there. So I'm going to end that poll. Right, let me talk about there was something I wanted to bring up first. So I wanted to get out of the way just because it's absolute nonsense, this report. And I've talked about it so many times. So Paul O'Keefe said that Tottenham were offered Anthony Martial. There is no interest at the moment. I wanted to get this one in and out of the way. Spurs will not be signing Anthony Martial. The guy can't play more than 30 minutes of football without getting injured. So don't worry. It's not happening. There's nothing in this story. They won't be going there. They will not be going there. He was on 250 grand a week at Manchester United as well. So don't worry. if Spurs went for this, I think this is a resignation that Spurs can't actually get anyone that's half decent. You know? Who are the incomings? Do you ever rely on Mel or just guessing again? Well, let me get there before Zabar. Let me get there before, mate. Skip's still of interest to Leicester. He is, yes. The thing is with Skip is the homegrown academy trained side of things. Hence why, how does Tyrese Hall do? Alfie Devine. Alfie looked good against QPR. I'd actually say maybe there's a situation Alfie might have been one of the best players on the pitch. I think Basuma was really great, obviously, in the first half. But the second half, I thought Alfie, in Basuma's role, looked really solid. But defensively, obviously, I don't know he'd be able to do the 6. But actually, I thought, tempo-wise, he was really solid. But, how does... I mean, it's not even that, it's not even that it has to be a midfielder to replace Skippy. It could be a situation where they go, actually, we're happy with Mikey Moore. Maybe we move off Brian Hill and, they move Kulusevski into a midfield central role and they go, Mikey Moore is going to be the homegrown academy replacement of Skippy. They maybe what we get at Phillips at centre half. What do we get with Alfie Devine or Tyrese Hall? So there's still lots in the academy trained players. We probably just want to see through the rest of the preseason what we've got there, Martial, he as injury prone as Pedro Neto. He's worse than Pedro Neto, mate. He's much worse. Martial would miss like 6 months with a normal hamstring injury. How serious is that Bergwijn injury? I missed the first half. So supposedly he's in a bit of discomfort, but it shouldn't be anything too serious. He was hobbling a little bit, but I just think it was probably only 3 days after the last game. Yeah, I don't think there's anything serious. I don't. We need Eze and Tony. Those two alone make a massive difference. True. Well, there you go. I'm on Donna's TV today. There we go. Very nice. So let's talk about the Paul O'Keefe reward. So I'll read the first bit about Hojbjerg of this. So it said FIFA Hojbjerg is just shy of £12 million. 1 year left, and he and the club had agreed to no future. He had no future at Spurs. Nothing advanced for Lo Celso, but club pushing to move him on. Right. We're going to finish there quickly. So a little bit of Lo Celso news. I don't think there was anything advanced. I think Argentinian reports are a little bit of a shot in the dark. I think there is obviously a situation where Spurs will be able to move on Lo Celso without any concern. The thing I would say is obviously he only finished the Copa America, about a week ago. We're talking about Hojbjerg who moved on, who finished his Euros 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. So this one is going to be one that might drag on for another couple of weeks, but I'm just looking at the calendar. It's 21st of July. We go on tour in what? We're playing our first game on tour in 6 days. Now, I don't expect, obviously, like you're right, I don't expect Romero for that game. I'd probably say Romero after that game might join the group. Trying to think of who else. Romero and Lo Celso, but I think Lo Celso will move on personally. I think he will. And again, let's talk about the idea that I had with Hojbjerg. They're going to move him on, and they're going to try and move him on really to clear up the departures. Spurs FFP wise, they're fantastic. It's not like 2 million is going to make the world a difference with their FFP, right? It's just not going to make any difference. It's not going to touch the sides. It's not going to make it. It's like me having a glass of water and throwing it into a swimming pool. You don't notice it, do you? So it's one of those that I just think if we can just get a solid, credible offer, move them on, clear up another one. So then you're clearing up, Rodon, Tanganga, Sessegnon, Perisic, Dyer, all sorted. Lloris got sorted in January. Then you still got Reguilon, you got Hill, Hojbjerg we sorted, Emerson, Lo Celso. I mean, that's 11 that we're at. There's still more in that squad they probably could get rid of. It's still 11 though. What happens with Richarlison? What's going to happen there? Skip, Davies. So there's so much still to do departures wise, but I think they've made a really solid start on that. You think they've gotten rid of, 6 or 7 players? That I think is solid. That I think is solid. I think one thing I would say is with us going on tour, does, a Reguilon and go on tour with the squad? What happens with Brian Hill? Because if they're not going on tour, then Spurs will probably think we're going to get rid of them the next week or so, you know? I think Ange said it was just soreness. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it was precautionary, the Bergvall one. Are you able to show us what you're reading on stream? Not at the moment, mate, no. But when I read out the sources, by all means, go and have a look, you know? Terrible adventurous, mate. He's really cooking. Yeah, for sure. Really cooking. Do Villa have solid interest in Kulu now Diaby is gone? I don't think Diaby's officially gone, but I don't think there's anything in the Kulu interest. The Villa would have to pretty much pay us what they get for Diaby for Kulu. 55 million, something like that, just because Spurs aren't going to want to sell, well, a guy who's doing well in pre-season at the moment, but, you know, has Premier proven experience, you know, is a solid Premier League player. They're not going to want to do that for a cheap deal, are they? Especially when we spent, you know, 35, 40 million on him, you know? The amount of wages saved as well from getting rid of these players is great too. Well, yeah, you think Perisic on 180 grand a week alone himself. I think I worked out between Dyer, him, Lloris, and there was someone else. I can't remember who it was, but I worked out that Spurs were saving like 17.4 million a year on those 4 players, right? You think Ndombele's gone? That's another one I keep forgetting. Ndombele's gone. You know, that's that. You know, we're talking about 6, 7 players that have gone now. We're close on the Hojbjerg one. We've well, I say close. It's pretty much done. You know, obviously Emerson has interest from Saudi mostly. Obviously Milan have called it a little bit because they think 8 million's reasonable. Yeah, donuts. There's a lot of moving parts, but I think Spurs will move on a few more. You know. Very happy with how our academy players are playing. Yeah, I think yesterday was really interesting. I think the pace was a little bit higher, and I think some of them were a little bit caught off guard by that. I think Tyrese Hall struggled with the pace because obviously coming on in the second half, I think he struggled with the pace of the game. I thought Alfie really handled the pace well because when Alfie was more getting the ball on the turn, he was handling it a lot more. I thought Abbott was solid with the pace. Thought Emerson. I thought, do you know what? We mock on Emerson. I thought Emerson was solid yesterday. I thought he was solid. So Spence again, another solid showing. So, you know, there's players that have done pretty well this preseason, and we're in a beautiful position because of it. Lots of fascinating scenarios that are backing up a brilliant new lineup. Well, hopefully so. Have I seen Cobra Kai? I haven't. I'm very shocked Diaby going to Saudi. He was actually all right last season. It's money. I think he's going to get paid nearly 300 grand a week. Which is a shame, but hey ho. Yeah, Ndombele. Yeah, it might have been him that I was thinking of. Would it have been? No, it wouldn't have been Ndombele. It would have been someone else. But Ndombele would have saved. Obviously, it's going to save a little bit of money. Obviously, we've had to pay him off to leave. It won't be something he just left for free and he's left 200 grand a week on the table. They would have had to pay him off a little bit. Jesus Christ, Donna. Emerson is too inconsistent. Look at his performance against Hearts compared to yesterday. Well, yeah, exactly, he said. I mean, look, he's going to be moving on, but I thought yesterday was a good showing, you know. If people were saying sell him for 8 million, I think yesterday showed, okay, well, he's obviously not worth 8 million. He's worth a bit more. And also Spurs aren't going to be idiots to sell him at 8 million. No one would. Do you know what? I don't know if it was Davinson Sanchez, Football Lover. I cannot remember who it was for the life of me. Because I said Hugo, I said Perisic, Dyer, and there was one more. I can't remember. Cannot remember. Well, doesn't matter now, does it? We all forgot about Sanchez. Yeah, we did. Kane. Would have been Kane. Wouldn't have been Kane that I was talking about. Yeah, Dyer was in there, Rohan. I would take 8 million if he meant he'd leave now. Well, we can get more money. We can get more money. He was pure profit. No, he was pure profit. Academy trained Harry Kane. It was 86 million guaranteed up to 100 with add-ons potentially up to 120. And obviously Harry Winks as well. That was another 10. But in terms of savings on wages, I was talking about. Why does Jed have to go if his attitude has changed? He has the quality. Well, Brian, it's early doors. Let's see what he does for the rest of pre-season. Winks, there you go, Janice. Out of the youth in pre-season, who would you keep in the first team squad? Donnelly, Moore, Devine, Austin, maybe Lancashire. Well, Austin will be the backup keeper for sure. Mikey will be in around the first team. You think Bergval and Archie Gray will be included? You could include those two as youth guys, but not academy guys, but you could include them. Lankshire's definitely put his name in the right way. Yeah, Alfie's looked good so far. Yeah, that's not too bad shouts. Hugo, Perisic, Dyer, Sanchez, Nombele, Hojbjerg, Kane, Tanganga, also. Don't forget Session, Eddies, Roden as well. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Let's finish off what Paul has said. He said, meanwhile, they're looking to accelerate with 3 potential signings, and I was thinking about this. Now, I'll give you my 2 cents first. I've been quite, fair with the whole look. There's been the Euros, there's been the Copper. These things slow down transfers. I think we all can understand that sentiment, right? And people go, yeah, but look, Villa have signed X, Y, and Z, and the players that they've signed. Ian Matson, fair enough. The Euros was on. That's an impressive deal. Anana went out fairly early of the Euros, but in reality, they, most of their deals have been part of other deals, right? Liverpool still haven't really done anything. Man City still haven't really done anything. Arsenal still haven't sorted Calafiori, and they've been out of the Euros for a long time as well. And then I was looking at, Newcastle haven't really done anything. Chelsea haven't really done anything. Other than those weird, dodgy youth deals, they haven't done anything. The one that I was thinking about was United. Now, I'm not talking about Lenny Yoro because he didn't play at the Euros or anything like that. I was looking at the Xerxes deal and the Delict deal. Both deals were progressing and moving forward all whilst the Euros were done. As soon as their Euros were done with Holland, Xerxes had pretty much signed for Man United. Now we're sitting July 21st. The Euros has been done for a week now. Spurs now, I think, the way I look at it now, this week we have to sign someone in my eyes. The window's been open now 6 weeks. Yes, the Euros and Copper have been on, so you give the benefit of the doubt and you look at the rest of the market. No one's really done anything. But with the fact that we've got pre-season tour this week, we've got obviously Vissel Kobe and the K-League team that we're playing. 2 games that we can feature people. But we've also got a situation where we play Bayern Munich as well. We do, I think, need to be getting someone in the door this week, minimum. Especially with the season starting in, less than a month now. It'd be good to get someone in to actually say, right, we're getting them up to speed ahead of Leicester first game of the season. Ange can feel the four-share forces. Yeah, there you go. 3 potential incomings makes me curious who'd it be. Yeah, we'll brainstorm them, Joshua. We'll brainstorm in a minute. Is Yorker a likely signing? I wouldn't say it's a likely sign. Striker's too hard to predict right now, Ollie, if I'm honest. Perisic was on a big wage too. Yeah, no, Aaron. I'm just trying to work out who the 4th guy was talking about. I talked about it ages ago. I cannot remember who it was. Why do we have to sell to buy? We don't have to sell to buy. But they are clearing out squad spots, which it does make sense to do that way. I think people kind of go, no, we must sign everyone and then sell people. So we have the players here, which, doesn't really work in football. You have to create squad spots for people to come in and to be signed to then come in and take those squad spots. So hence why these deals do make a little bit more sense the way we're doing it. I'm not sure Intellect joining yet. They're getting a Garte too. I think they're good signs for United. Yeah, they're good. To be honest, I will be honest, I've never been that blown away by Garte. I've always been on that side of things. But they're moving for people, so fair play. I'm gutted I missed out on Xerxes. Hi, I hope you're well. You too, Sofian. When does the transfer window finish? Well, late August. It was the start of September, isn't it? Morata signing was confirmed after final. It's excuses and said he wants a couple of early signs. Yeah, but it's Morata, so don't, you know what I mean? That deal was being worked on because Morata, he was talking about leaving Atletico all through the Euros. So it was quite a quick one, to be honest. It was easy. It was an easy deal. It's like Timo Werner being signed on loan. It's an easy deal. It's not anything that's really hard work. And we had 2 new shirt sponsorships with more income. We did indeed. If we buy Tony, we can be a top 3 club. Top 3's a shout, mate. Let's just see what the other clubs do first. All right, that's all I'd say. I swear, if we get McTominay, I'll no longer be. We're not getting McTominay. Don't worry. My 50, your shirts are wet. DH Gate coming through clutch there. Still early doors, no panic here. We have a plan. The cogs turn Bosley, all good. And as we trust, and inside you will get your wish. Hopefully so, Polly. Hope you're well. Basuma seems back to his best. He was brilliant yesterday, Basuma. So on the 3 signings, let's sort of. I'm not going to obviously predict who they are because we don't truly know just yet. But let's predict the positions of interest of what we need this summer. You know. A centre midfielder, I think Spurs will be thinking about this summer. You would say an attacker or winger, at least. A striker or winger would be one of the other ones, at least. And then maybe a fullback. You know, maybe it's a left back, maybe it's a centre back. You know, but I think that these 3, look, if the situation is. Spurs are looking to bring in 3 guys. This won't be the end of the window for us. You know, Spurs aren't bringing in these 3 guys and shutting up shop. There'll still be more movements. So I wouldn't say, you know, let's panic if it's a striker, a centre half, and a fullback. Oh, we need another midfielder. We need a winger. Don't panic. There's still more time in the window. There's still more clearing out of players in the squad. But you know, if we're moving on from Hojbjerg, you can maybe say, well, then maybe one of the replacements will be a central midfielder. Potentially. Do you have a situation where they move on from Brian Hill and then go, right, we're going to get another winger in now? Or they're going to get a striker because Sonny maybe become the winger replacement. You see what I mean? As people are leaving, I'm trying to put, you know, people into their place. My favourite shirt is the Bale shirt right behind me. Cess was a nice wage. He was like 60 grand a week, wasn't he? He was on good money. Winger, striker, defensive mid, attacking mid, fair enough. Adiz, you can yourself, if you don't like anyone in the chat, mate, you can just mute them in the chat. Strike has to be number 1 target, surely. Well, potentially, if you were to, especially to move Sonny out into the left wing, it makes some sense. We need a striker, winger, and maybe a midfielder. Well, Adiz, mate, where's your defense? Where's the defense in that? Mate? Solomon Hill out next, please. I beg. Well, I don't know about Solomon, but I think Hill will definitely be moving on. Archie for a midfielder for sure. Spurs. No, I don't think there's anything in the Mason Mount, Rohan, mate. I don't think there's anything in that. Nor would I want Mason Mount. You know, if people don't want Conor Gallagher, they shouldn't want Mason Mount. That's the way I will look at that. If anyone that does think they should want Mason Mount and not Conor Gallagher, you might need to check some IQs there. We should have got our signs for pre-season. Well, Sofian, Euros, Copper. It wasn't going to happen, mate. Defense, obviously. Thank you. It's PR from United side. Yeah, exactly. Mason Mount's finished. Who's actually going to sign Hill? He's done nothing the last 3 years. Well, it'll be someone in Spain, won't it? Let's be honest. It'll be someone in Spain. No, Dallo's their starting right back. So, yeah, some good stuff in there. But, yeah, I think the 3 imminent signings this week, well, I say this week, 3 imminent signings at least. But I would like, I'd like at least one this week so we can get them out onto tour. And, you know, tour is such a great time to then integrate new people within the realm. But we really do need to bring at least one player in this week. You know, just want to double check. 19th of August is our first Premier League game, so it's less than a month now. We definitely, we definitely need to be bringing someone in this week. I think that's my general feeling. You know, a left back, wingers, both sides. And I said we're not going to get You're not going to get 2 wingers. You're not going to get 2. You get 1. And will that stop them getting a striker? We'll have to wait and see. No, Donna. Build the team first and then go get a striker later. All big teams have done it that way. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Teddy's he's not here right now, but Teddy's been saying that build out the rest of the team and then plonk the striker in. I don't think we'll sign a defender maybe near the end of the window. Well, if we don't sign a defender, D-boy, then I want nobody to... I think we all should be a little bit worried about that, if I'm honest. Because that means... I'm not in a bad way, but Ashley Phillips will be a centre-back for us next season because we've only got 3 first-teamers in Dragusian, Kuti and Mickey, so Phillips would have to be one. And that means Ben Davies is the backup left-back. And for me, I would like a new left-back. Neto at Eze. Eze's always been my guy, so I'll have to stay on that one. Behind Son, we don't have much backup on the left. Well, they would do as it by committee, wouldn't they? Mountain's championship player. Oh, ouch. Who would be the Hojbjerg replacement, Gallagher or Edison? Well, both of them would end up being the either one of them would be a replacement. I would think we would bring in more than one player this week, although I'm very happy with the window so far. It's still been pretty meh. Well, I think we can all agree on the departures and the outgoings of this window. We should all be quite happy that we've moved on from lots of deadwoods, but the incomings have been a little bit ropey. But the next 2 weeks, I think, are 2 massive weeks. Spurs, you need to be bringing in at least 2 to 3 in the next 2 weeks, in my opinion. Chiesa, Eze, Tony this week. Jesus. Well, at Dorrington. I think goes out on loan. Do you know what Heung-Min Son's full name is? No, Marshall. Zubimendi is rumoured for United. Spurs should throw its hat into the mix. Yeah, I don't know what they'll do for midfielder personally. Who should we buy? Worried Archie Gray can play centre-back at Stoke. Well, no, Archie Gray will be right-back / midfielder. Phillips would be the 4. The only reason why he's playing there right now is because we don't have any other centre-backs. I think Ramsey will fit Angeball. He would fit Angeball, yeah. Emerson drops a stinker against Hearts. The talk around him has stopped. Yeah, it's just Twitter warriors, that's all. Nice one, Marshall. Why are we looking for Ramsey? He had one good game against us, then gets injured. Lol. He's been one of Villa's better youngsters for a little while. People calling this window so far, I've forgotten about certain... well, to be fair, I think they're only calling it meh because of the volume of signings that we've signed. I think everyone should be happy about Gray, but the level of signings is a bit meh. Check Ramsey's get injured. Well, I hope none of our players ever get injured. Maybe Donnelly's left back up now rather than Davis. Well, Donnelly has looked good at left back, and I hope we would see him maybe a little bit against Bayern, because Bayern obviously have a bit more of the ability to attack and have explosive wingers. So that would give us a bit more of an understanding, is Donnelly any good at left back? Because so far I've liked what I've seen, but, it's been QPR and Hearts and Cambridge. No idea, Donna. Ramsey doesn't suit our style of play. He definitely does. Angeball's system has accommodated a striker. We just really have never had one yet, bar Son under Ange's tenure. Yeah, we definitely need one, but we also need to build the team around him. I think we'll sign one player this week who will go on tour. Well, hopefully we sign someone this week, D-boy, mate. SA, Tony, Ramsey, Delhi. No, not Delhi. Not Delhi. He's an Everton player, I'm pretty sure, by now. I really want to sign your Creza striker. Would be nice at D's. But anyway, we shall see. Thank you all so much for joining me this morning. I'll hopefully be back at 7 o'clock with some more good news. I will talk to you all a little bit later on. Enjoy the rest of your mornings and afternoons, and I will speak to you all very, very soon. Take care, everyone. See you later.